Welcome to part 2 of my Scratch Build PC case project. Hope you enjoyed the first part. If you haven't yet seen it, check it out on my channel. Today what I'll do is I'll go through the final design of my case. I've used something called SketchUp, which is a free online tool. It's free and easy to use and very intuitive. I'll go through the design, I'll go through the components that I'm going to be using and creating. What I'll also do is talk about some of the materials that I'll potentially be using as well. And finally I'll show you the finished cardboard model design as well that I've created. I'm hoping that this is something that a lot of you will be interested in, and if you are, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications of any of the future further videos that I'll be creating as well. I'm hoping to keep this more regular, at least minimum once a week, so you can see the progress I'm making as I go along through the project. But without further ado, let's get started.
So I've used SketchUp to create a 3D representation of the actual PC case, and what you can see here is the finished design. What I'll do is just have a quick turn around to just see the other side of the case, and from what you can see it looks fairly simplistic, but obviously creating it is going to be a lot more difficult than what I've realized. So what I'll do is I'll break it down, and I'll actually show you piece by piece how each individual piece connects together, and then finally you'll see the internal frame. So if I start off with the I'll start off with the front. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to make it out of. Potentially I could probably fabricate it out of metal. I've seen quite a few YouTube videos how they actually fabricate these things, and it looks fairly straightforward, but when it comes down to it, we'll have a look. The other option is acrylic or something similar, and to be honest, my skill set's not that great anyway, and trying to learn a new skill in terms of curving an acrylic sheet to this kind of shape, I think it's going to prove quite difficult. By removing this, you can also see the two 120. I put 120mm fans here at the moment. Potentially I could probably go up to 140. Depending, of course, if I decide to have a CPU cooler as well, then I might go for a 240 cooler and see how that looks. But that's linked in with this kind of metal frame and metal sheet over here that's going to be directly bolted onto the actual frame. And the next piece, what we can see is these side panels, and again, I think, to be honest, these are going to probably be easier to create out of acrylic, and the only reason is I can probably bend these using heat into the shape of the actual frame by clamping them against it when I'm heating them up. Then we move on to the other side, and you can see the other frame, the other panel here. There's the other panel, and again, this is just a straight piece, just cut into the shape. So that shouldn't be too difficult. And then on the bottom, you've also got the shroud that's going to cover the bottom of the actual case. Again, that's just going to be a curved piece of sheet metal, so that shouldn't be too difficult to cut to fabricate. Now, what I've done at the back is I've actually created two separate panels. One for the power supply unit, which is this one piece over here, and then at the top you've also got this plate for the IO connections and expansion slot for the motherboard tray, and then finally you've also actually got this motherboard tray that comes out as well. If I just zoom out a bit, you can see this come out over here. And it's not quite as detailed and as quite as slick as what you would see as for a Lian Li motherboard tray, but it'll do the job. And to be honest, this is probably going to be a bit difficult to create. What I'm thinking of doing is actually reusing an old PC case and actually just cutting out the actual motherboard tray with the IO tray, um, connection bit and the expansion slots. But I'll have a little experiment, see if I can. I mean, to be honest, it is fairly straightforward, but again, there's a lot more intricate little parts to it. So we'll see what happens. That's connected to these mounting bars, one across horizontally, one across vertically. Then you've also got this cover plate, and that's really just to cover the wiring that's going to go behind. I want to keep this looking as simple and as slick as possible. And at the bottom, you've also got this cover plate that covers off the power supply unit. At the moment, it's more than likely I'll have to have this turned upside down, so I can have it blow the exhaust fan going down rather than up. Obviously, with this plate, I'd rather have it facing down. The other thing I could do is probably make a grill out of this plate and allow the air to be pushed up. But the only problem is that's going to be pushing directly onto the GPU, which I don't really want. And then finally at the bottom over here, what you can see is just a SSD holder with two SSD drives. To be honest, I'll probably not need anything more than two SSDs, whether they're 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes each, and that's going to probably be more than enough for me. And then finally, you can actually see the frame. Oh, sorry. What I also forgot to show is the actual top bit. And so if I just take that off, and then you can see I've got four 60mm fans here. If I just yeah, I can take that off. That. These 60mm fans are going to be act like the exhaust. And what you can see on this actual top bit is you've got air vents on the sides, on both sides, and the back, for the air to dissipate from these four 60mm fans. So essentially, what you'll have is airflow coming from the front, from these two fans over here, and then pushing through the case towards the GPU and the CPU, and then pushing up, hopefully following the lines of heat dissipation anyway. So that hopefully should actually work out quite nicely. If anyone's got any other suggestions, I would really appreciate them. So please just drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. And if there's anything that you would add on to it, or if there's anything that you think I should probably do to it, let me know. Obviously, this is pretty much the end of the design stage. So in the next couple of weeks, what I'm going to do is start going through the actual building of the case. I'll start off with the frame, and then we'll get to how I build the frame and what kind of material I'm going to use and tools I'm going to use. From what you can see here, the frame is more than likely going to be created out of the aluminium angle, and then the bottom tray will be created out of the bottom shroud, will be created out of aluminium sheets. So will be the back panels and the top. The side panels will be created out of acrylic, and the front, again, not 100% sure yet. Potentially aluminium sheets, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, on the front, obviously you've just got the power button and the reset button, and then you'll have two LEDs for the hard drives and the power LED. I've also actually created little strips over here. I'm not sure if you can see it, they're not that great, but what I've tried to do is actually add in some lighting. At the moment, I haven't even considered any RGB lighting at all, but it would be nice to kind of have, if I was able to create the front out of like smoked white acrylic, then I could have some the two fans at the front would potentially be RGB, so you can actually see the light shine through slightly. But that's it really. That's the design. I'm hoping that I can get it started in the next week or so. We'll see what happens. The hardware is not nailed down yet, so to be honest, this is still flexible. I am leaning towards AMD. I'm not 100% sure. They're doing a lot of great stuff for AMD, I think. They're bringing a lot of the new Ryzen chips are rivaling. I think they're rivaling, if not better than Intel. I don't think Intel's doing much in terms of pushing their boundaries yet, and they're also cheaper. And a lot of the motherboards look in terms of their features, look pretty decent. GPUs I haven't really thought about. I mean, there are so many coming out, and obviously AMD is bringing out their own GPUs set to rival Nvidia. But we'll see what happens. I think the main thing for me at the moment is to focus on getting this PC case built and then test it out and see if it's sturdy enough and make sure everything's solid. And then we'll move on to the next stage.
So this is the 3D model that I created out of cardboard. As you can see, there's a slight variation on this than the one on the 3D model that I created in SketchUp. Primarily, the bottom bit actually goes straight down rather than slopes. I prefer the slope one in the 3D design, but guys, let me know in the comment section which one you prefer. So I hope you enjoyed that and it wasn't too long. If you do have any suggestions, any comments, please do leave them in the comment section below. Again, please subscribe, like, hit the bell icon to get notifications when the future videos that I make. I will be keeping this more regular, as I said before, at least minimum once a week to show the progress that I make throughout the project. But yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.